All right, everybody, thank you for joining us in the Confession Plus podcast once again. I'm Morgan Rector.
I am Von Dark.
And as usual, what we do here is we take entries that have been written at confessionpost.com, very personal material that people post anonymously and that they're looking for reactions for. And most of the time, people react in the comment sections there, but we're doing it as a podcast. And we're doing it with permission from the creators and administrators of confessionpost.com as well, I might add. And I guess I'll kick it off for this week.
Yeah, you kick it off.
All right. So the first one I'll go with, the headline is, "My wife bought me some panties." So I started wearing panties, misspelled as patties, 2 weeks ago. After
some patties.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks ago after my wife bought me some. They are fantastic, and now I wear all kinds, even thongs. I started wearing women's leggings and also wear lingerie with my wife. It's been the hottest sex we have had. I think she likes me being in women's clothes because she wants me to be with a woman. Or no, she wants to be with a woman. She has said she would do a female, male, female threesome. And I said I would also, as long as she explores the female with me, she said she would really enjoy that. So where do you stand on all that? Like, do you, whenever you see like maybe rock stars who are wearing makeup, do you find that look attractive?
I like that, but like there's like, okay, so when you were talking about that, I was like, there's these ads on Wish that come up and it's like for like sissy like clothing, right? It's like male like lingerie, and I'm super not about that. I'm like, okay, there's like it's I don't know, like okay, so I'm all for what makes people happy, like for sure. That's like, the be all end all. If it makes you happy, that's cool. But it's not something that turns me on, Like, I'll like kind of go with it because it's a new thing. Because honestly, I've never dressed up a sissy boy or anything like that. But people seem to kind of peg me as like a dom type, right? So I'm probably coming soon. Like,
Yeah.
this is a thing that's probably inevitable at some point or another. It might happen. So, like, I get the appeal, and it's about like taking masculinity away when you're like, and I mean the feel of it too. Guys don't know how good like nylons feel on their legs, but when like I've had like all different kinds of dudes tell me like they like put nylons on like once and they're like, oh my God, it is the best feeling I've ever felt on my legs. Like,
Well, it's like it's forbidden fruit, right? Because
it
women
is
are
kind of, I
women are
guess.
allowed to wear whatever they want. They can wear men's
Well,
clothes if they want, but men
it took a
are.
long time for us to be able to wear men's clothing, though, like
It,
by
oh,
all rights.
but I mean that happened a long time ago, though. Like women.
But what about like how long it took for guys to take or to wear like nylons and stuff like that? It might be almost equal because like just think about the gay scene like way back when like it was like totally secret, you
Yeah,
know?
but I mean, look how scandalous it was, like in the early '60s, well, mid '60s when guys started growing their hair long, like that really.
Yeah. Okay. So you do have a point because, like, I know, like, I've heard that before. It's like all the older people look down on the guys that had long hair, and they were like, sometimes, like, they didn't even have straighteners back then, so they'd use like an actual like clothes iron for
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like
Weird.
iron the hair out. Like it was a real thing. I heard about it because my mom did it.
Oh yeah, if this were 1973, your hair would be straight as a board, parted in the middle. That's what.
Yeah, yeah, like or like you tried to like do that, right? And you do the best you could, but like you don't have the right fucking tools back then. They
No.
only like made like wicked fucking straighteners, like, and I guess like probably the same time they made like crimping irons. Like they actually probably like started perfecting it then. Because I mean, crimping irons were actually pretty fucking dope too.
So what's the deal with brushing your hair before bed? Does that really work? Does
I
that?
don't know. I don't fucking do that.
I've heard women say that like you got to brush it 100 times before
Oh
bed.
man, I heard that shit too, but that's like old school shit.
Yeah, the
You
old.
know,
Yeah.
like 40s to like Jesus, like probably 70s. I don't know about 80s. 80s they're probably like, you know, I don't know what the fuck. I feel like Aquanet ruined a lot of things in the
The 80s
80s.
was all about big hair for women.
The Aquanet. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Aquanet was like the thing.
The bangs up to the fucking
Oh
ceiling.
yeah, my sister, oh my God. I wish I could find pictures because I remember those pictures. Her bangs and
Yeah,
her hair was like she was definitely the most popular person in school.
yeah, that put the hole in the ozone layer. The hairstyle.
Yeah.
Well, how much older is she than you?
She's 10 years.
Oh,
10? Like, yeah, she's 10 years. So she, like, lived through the 80s. She was a teenager and shit. And I was, like, a kid. I'm like, I
well, yeah.
used to,
Even if the girl had been totally chaste, I think that hairstyle gave the impression that they were kind of wild, you know?
oh man, the bigger the hair, the cooler you were, man. It's like
Yeah.
rules. That was
Well,
rules.
well, us guys liked it. We thought it was pretty hot. So
The mall bangs is what we called it.
the mall bangs. Yeah, yeah, that was a
Yeah.
popular thing. Go to the mall with your big ass hair, and
Man, the mall used to be such a thing. It did.
yeah, yeah.
Like for a long time. I kind of miss it, but I kind of don't.
Well, malls are boring now. They're really
Yeah.
it used to be there was stuff to do at the mall that didn't just involve
You'd
shopping.
like talk to so many people, man. When I was like younger, when I was like in like junior high, high school, I talked to like so many people. I made so many fucking friends. And it was just like,
And back before they had these video arcades, and there was a time when like it didn't cost like $2 for per play, so you could go and do that, and that was
oh
fun.
man. See, I never got to like really like partake in the like in the in the arcade there. Like I did the arcade like I did it like a few years before, but like when I got into like when I got here, it was like boys. Like I was just like
And
I
also,
want to socialize.
arcades
That
were kind
was
of notorious for being hubs of drug activity.
oh
Like, yeah,
really? I
it was,
didn't know that.
that's what I heard
Fuck.
anyway. Yeah, I remember my mother wouldn't let me hang out at this arcade, and they were just known as places where drug dealers would go and sell probably just pot or something, you know.
Oh yeah, probably. Like hey, like man, nothing's better than like smoking a joint and playing some video games,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
right? Especially that age, man. I remember my first beer.
Yeah, yeah. We're smoking a cigarette for the first time, going, "Oh my God,
Oh
that's hot."
man. Yeah, I told my parents like the first time I smoked a cigarette, like and when it was. They're like, "Really? It was with that person? I remember that person. Oh my God, you did it." He like
Did they
I'm
smoke?
like, "Yeah." I'm like, "That's when it kind of started."
Oh yeah. Did your parents smoke?
Oh yeah, my mom did, yeah. But I bugged her. I bugged her as a kid. I was like, "You smell, blah, blah." Like I got her to quit, and then look at me now. I
Yeah,
smoke.
remember this comedian talking about like living with your folks and saying, "You ever come home drunk and your parents are drunk? That's a proud moment,
Oh
isn't
my God, it's so good. I love it when I'm not and they are. It's so
it?" Yeah.
awesome. That's like my favorite because mom like tells me about her childhood and like her childhood is like both not awesome but hilarious because she can laugh about it right now. I'm like, you need to write a book, man. Like this is write a book, call it Hard Times in the Maritimes. I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
may-
bestseller.
maybe combine it with that story I wrote based on Krista's life and like create a fictional character and put him together.
Well, I wouldn't combine it like that would definitely be like I would say call it a series, like a time capsule series, like down the road, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause like what mom's was is like in the like well, she's born in 55, so like it'd be like
Oh yeah.
then through like it'd be early, right? And then you
Yeah.
do someone else kind of down the line, and you do someone else kind of like
Well, I would
Hard
amalgam.
Times in the Maritimes could be a series.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe amalgamate them or something. Or well, I had the idea of making a movie about a bad girl. That's what it was a movie about bad girls and girls who were
Okay.
rebels and
Like doing some shorts actually wouldn't be a bad idea for like bad girls.
yeah, that too. Yeah.
Like, because I mean, that way you're not committed to doing like a full, like length, you
Well, yeah,
know.
yeah, like right, but yeah, and make them fictional, but not tell anybody it's fictional. Like play it off like it's real. Like
Yeah.
like the first scene of the movie about Krista's life has the actress portraying her saying, "I lost my virginity by that dumpster," and she's standing by a dumpster. True story. That's the first. That's the first like 10 seconds of the movie right there. I mean, you're gonna know if you want to see the movie after that. I mean, that's gonna.
Well, yeah, you're definitely either like, yeah, you're in or you're out. And most people are in, they're in for that.
Oh, I'm gonna be in it if I were to see it, and if somebody else made it and I saw it, I would definitely want to see it. So, but that's just me. I'm not speaking for anyone else. Uh,
Yeah.
all right. So how about
Oh
your
shit.
first
It's my
impression?
turn. All right. One sec. Got to turn my phone back on. Okay. Yeah, let's go with this one that you sent me.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I have not grown my pubes yet, and I am 22. I don't know what. Anyway, I have not grown my pubes yet, and I am 22. My pussy is only 1.5 inches.
Oh, that must be penis.
Penis,
Yeah,
penis.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, it starts with a P. And I'm like, I'm getting disturbed when it like, and I'm like, you know what? After it says penis, I'm not like, how is that? That's not right.
Well, I don't think there's a woman who's
Like,
insecure because her vagina's small. So
well, true. Okay, so I can't get women in bed because they just laugh when they see my penis. One girl even at reached that side of my tiny penis, and now it seems to get me. So what is he like? There's an autocorrect in there, and I'm not sure what it means yet, but
let me see.
um. And now it seems to get me so horny being mocked or laughed at about my penis.
So they started out insecure, and then they
Yeah,
passive.
now they're like really about like being shamed about it.
Well, it calls to mind this thing I've noticed: the difference between a developing nation and an established nation. So it's like Somalia is a developing country, and Canada is an established country. The
Right.
men the men in an established country tend not to be as aggressive and warlike. They don't need to be anymore. They're saying the sperm count has been going down steadily, and I've noticed like just men in general seem to be less masculine. Like there are guys who are 45 and they have the voice of like a 15-year-old boy. I'm seeing more of that. So it just could be,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's like you read about the history of Canada or the United States when it started, like before it actually became a country. The men were very different back then. They were just aggressive and ruthless and destructive.
Yeah. I
And
mean, I found that throughout, like, I mean, as a woman, there's certain people that are a little bit more aggressive about hitting on people or like getting things, you know what I mean? Like, you say you agree to one thing with a person, but they're like it's a give an inch, they take a mile kind of deal.
yeah, yeah,
Right? There's a lot of that, and you notice it as a female. I'm not saying like I honestly feel like this goes across the board. As a female, you notice that certain types, you can pick up on their either their aggressiveness or like almost like um I want to say desperate. Like there's a little bit of desperateness there,
yeah.
but like um
Well, it's chemical. I think, like they say, animals can smell fear. I think we can too. We just can't consciously pick up on a
yeah.
specific odor, but I think under subconsciously we smell it. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah, and I think
I
that's
once,
partly
yeah,
why like some of us females are not fuck like we just like when people get too aggressive we can smell that like
well, I remember
it,
once I attended a meeting for people who have social anxiety disorder, and some of the people there were really uncomfortable. Like just they looked like they were really suffering, and I
right.
could pick up on it somehow. Like I just felt it in the air, and I must have been the smell of fear must have been just overwhelming us.
Yo, like it's almost like the smell of fear, but it's also that like the tangible energy in the air because we like weirdly, and I don't mean to sound like a fucking hippie when I say this, and I sound like I hate myself when I talk about this stuff, but like for real, we give off like a vibration, right?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
And people like who are giving off like say you're in a larger group of people, some people are giving off vibrations that you're like, oh, that's weird. Oh, that's weird. And you're like feeding off of their vibration as opposed to like ignoring it
Yeah,
or focusing on another person's energy that say you're familiar with. Because sometimes when say you're in a group of people where you have a few friends, you're able to kind of regroup with them. Like I've noticed that in social situations with myself. It's like, whoa, like parts of this group is weird. I'm just gonna like go talk to my friends real quick and be like,
yeah,
hey, what's up? And then that's sort of your like weird way of sort of regrouping with your tribe, and you're being like, okay, like I'm
yeah,
recentering in a way too. Like you don't even know you're doing it, but like those are your tribes, so your energy vibration will probably be pretty close to being the same. So like you guys will like hang out for a minute and then you go disperse. And then like either you'll find out it's like one person in the crowd and they're just whatever, or like, like that I've found that sometimes that happens or it's just like maybe that's not the party for you. It's like you're having, a time where you need to just kind of like be away from like so much weird energy. Cause like, man, you can find that shit into a room.
yeah.
Like it can't be good. It's just like all like it's It's in a room.
So is it correct to assume that for women, attraction is a multi-dimensional thing? It's not just about looks. There's different
Oh yeah, I would
dimensions.
say.
Yeah, different layers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always been different layers for me because, like, I mean, I've found the weirdest people attractive, and it's been like a lot of charisma inspired stuff. Like, I'm just like, no, you just have a weird, cool vibe. Like, I need to figure you out. Like,
Yeah, I know what you
people have
mean.
just
Like I
been
once
like really intriguing in a weird way.
there was a girl I knew a few years ago at this place I worked. She's not pretty, but she's very attractive, and other people said that as well. I think it had to do with her personality. That had a lot to do with it as well.
Man, that shit
But,
shines through. It does. Like,
yeah,
you might not be the most like attractive person, but like sometimes like your personality is like, because some people really don't have a personality.
oh yeah, yeah.
It's like, wow, you're super pretty, but like you're wow.
Well, I mean, I've met women who were pretty, but besides that, it seemed like there was something empty about them, like there was
Like
nothing
there's
else
a
to them.
vapidness in there.
Well, there are
Like
guys who were there are guys who were just so preoccupied and hung up on skinniness that the girl is skinny
it's
that
the face value thing,
yeah,
right?
that's all they care about. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter, even if she's a
Once you
butterface.
once you get older, you realize it's like it really comes down to like, is this somebody I can picture myself hanging out with till I die?
Yeah,
Like,
it's easy to picture yourself having sex with someone, but can you picture yourself going for groceries with them?
well, that too, not just having sex, but I was like, can I hang out with you till
Yeah,
I die? Like, are you that person where like, sure you got some annoying things, but I got some annoying things. They pretty much equal out, and you're pretty cool, like we could like fucking actually have a ball with the rest of our life.
yeah,
Like that's sort of, like we could figure it out. Like you're not lame or anything. Not
yeah,
you, but I mean like this person, right? Like it's like, you kind of just have to like come to sort of a mutual agreement for
yeah,
taking some shitty things from each other and handling it and.
yeah, and also be prepared to accept them for who they are. I mean, certainly some behavior is not acceptable, like abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, and I mean if they're worth it and everyone's worth it, they'll like change or like, give you space or whatever, like whoever needs to do whatever thing, like it'll, it's one of those things. It's like if you're adult enough, you'll see the faults and you'll like try to fix them. Or, if it's something that uh might not be easy to fix, you let the person go, I guess. Like,
yeah. I mean, well, it's like a lot of women get that advice: don't try to change him. Well,
no, you can't try to change people. That's not
uh,
fair. It's not.
they'll only resent
You're
you.
just gotta, yeah. And I mean, you honestly just gotta be like the way I see it right now, it's just like this is what I've found out. This is what I will always tell people. This is what I found out up to this point in my life. I'm not telling you what to do. And you know what? Like I can't expect you to follow my advice because I never followed anyone's advice ever. I was like, you know what? Like maybe it's not going to turn out that way. And you know what? It turned out that way or something very close to it.
Well,
But they
they're always
were they were usually right.
well,
And
they're always going to be the person that you. They're always going to be the person you met. That's who they're always.
no, but this is like okay, so yes and no. Sometimes it's like people you meet and they're like meh, 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 and you don't want to hear it because it's like fucking 4 a.m. at the fucking bar or like at an after party, this or that. and you're like, I don't want to hear your fucking soapbox thing right now because
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get fucked up and live my life, you know? Like, this is not the time. But other times it comes into your life and you've heard it before, but it comes from somebody else. And you're like, you write it off because you're like, oh yeah, I fucking heard this crap before and I've not done it yet. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. Nah, nah, nah. Like, I don't want to hear it. And they're like, you go and do it, and they're right.
Yeah.
And they're older than you. This is the other part. This is actually what happened to me. Because I can tell you, I've never listened to anyone.
Yeah.
I never really did. No. Like, I mean, there was a few people, but like, it was very fucking seldom I took anyone's advice. I was like, no, it's not going to turn out that way. I'm different, And then, no, it was not different. It
Hmm.
turned out almost the exact same. And always listen to advice. Proceed with your own caution, but you're gonna look like an idiot to everybody that told you so.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. I mean, well, I mean,
Yeah.
one impression I get about you, it seems like you're just hitting your stride as a human being now. I feel like,
Oh, and I
you
hate
know,
it. I
well,
should
no, I
have
don't.
done that like about 10 years ago.
Oh, me too. That's how I feel as well. Like, see, one guy I'm kind of envious of, and I don't know how so strange this sounds, but Weird Al Yankovic, because he seems to have come to terms with being a weirdo at a really early age. Like
He was amazing, man.
yeah, he just accepted it from the get-go. Whereas for years I was secretive about certain sides of myself because I knew a lot of conventional people and I knew they wouldn't accept it. And so I don't want to hang out with conventional people anymore because,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? They just alienate you, and you might make an effort to understand them, but they'll never do you the same favor.
Yeah. And speaking on the Weird Al Yankovic tip, so I got like really caught up in the Masked Singer, and like they keep like they're going on that like Weird Al was like on the show for seasons upon seasons, right? Like it was a guest like here and there. But fucking um Squiggly Monster, he was Full House. um Shoot, what's his name? Why can't I think of it?
Uncle Joey,
No,
Dave.
the one who passed away.
Oh, Bob Saget.
Yes. Squiggly Monster, Bob Saget. Oh my God. Bob Saget can sing. And like
Yeah.
I honestly didn't fully grieve his passing away. And then I watched like these like mass singer things because it's on Tubi. You have like season 1, 2, and 4, but you can get 3 on YouTube. So I think Squiggly Monster is on 3 or 4. I can't remember. Um, he fucking killed it. He did such a good job. I didn't even know it was him singing. I didn't like, and when he took off his mask, I fucking almost cried. I like, I was like, okay, I didn't fully grieve him. Like, I did not fully grieve Bob Saget. I did not. Cause like, why am I crying about Squiggly Monster right now?
Yeah.
Like I was just like, oh, so choked. And I urge everyone, especially you, check out just that. Like, oh, and one other thing. TPain won the first season, and that motherfucker can sing. I was surprised as fuck.
Did he collaborated with Flo Rida create that song for Tropic Thunder, right? I forget what it's called now.
Uh,
Low, I think it's called.
oh, really? The like Apple, wait,
Yeah.
Apple
Apple.
Bottom. I thought it was Nelly
Yeah.
too. Nelly?
No, I don't think Nelly's in it, but
Oh, it
it's
sounds like
TPain
Nelly.
and Flow Rida. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see
Oh,
Tropic
yeah.
Thunder?
I fucking love that movie. It's
Me
like
too. Yeah.
it's one of my number one like
Think.
favorite funny movies. I could
Oh
watch
yeah.
that. Like the part where Jack Black is just like he's like, you need to hold me back. I will do all the fucking heroin, and he just blinks like a bunch. That is legit one of my favorite parts. He's like, I will do all the heroin in the world, and he just blinks uncontrollably.
Yeah, he was hilarious in that movie, and Tom
It
Hanks
was
was
so
really funny
good.
too.
Tom Hanks.
They were considering doing a Les Grossman movie. I don't know what happened to that, but I'd see it. That character was awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
so
you mean the Zoolander guy?
well, yeah, he starred in and directed it, but Tom Cruise played the
Oh,
guy
Tom
was
Cruise. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, Tom Cruise, that character, he was like the best like character he's done, I think. Best funny
Yeah.
one. Best
Oh, yeah.
funny.
All right, so my next confession is titled "I'm the baby of the family." So my mom is 40 and I'm breastfeeding at 13. I'm the youngest kid of three. My mom says she's okay with it, so I'm fine with it too. It's no big deal. She says it's more healthy for kids to drink breast milk. I breastfeed 2 to 3 times a day. This means if I want milk, I can come to her and ask politely for some nourishment. She'll take my shirt off and let me have that, or no,
No.
she'll take her shirt off and let me have at it, which is, I don't know, I see how you made that mistake, but if she's too busy to breastfeed me, she'll just point me to the bottled breast milk in the fridge. My mom is hesitant for me to grow up because I'm the youngest and her favorite boy. As you probably guessed, I'm a lot like my mom. We both share a lot of options: favorite movies, TV shows, music, etc. I'll be honest, I still use a pacifier and wear
uh
diapers for bedwetting. It's mostly only at night or when I'm taking a nap. My mom is worried that the pacifier might mess up my teeth, but nothing bad has happened yet. I would say it's a replacement when I can't have her breast, kind of connecting to the same reasons as for my long breastfeeding. I got badly ill at some of the worst points of childhood. I got pampered personally by my mom. Potty training took longer than expected. My mom says she'll feed me until I want to stop. She's ready to stop when I am. It's just been a part of my life so long. I can't imagine my life without those moments. It's calming, it's relaxing. Before you guys write something nasty, please don't. I know other people will have better questions, so ask away. I'm 13 and I'm still breastfeeding. You can call me the baby of the family. Um,
no.
I can foresee some relationship problems with other women over this. Well, for one thing, if a guy told you that that had been a part of his life, wouldn't you run for the hills?
Probably. I'd be like, cool, bye.
You mean there's mom
That's
and
kind
boy?
of like a weird ass relationship.
That's just
And
incestual. You should not. I don't think you should remember being breastfed. That's just wrong.
uh there's so much wrong with like all the things that I heard that like I can't. I wish I had like a pen and paper. I need to write these things down sometimes. But like all of it, I'm like red flag, red flag, red flag. Oh my God. Oh my
Well, like,
God. It's like-
well, it's like even if I had a baby
but
with a,
also at the same time, I'm like, this person doesn't quite sound like they're like, it sounds more like a written fantasy.
yeah, it does. Yeah.
A little bit. Because it's like, how is this like, I don't feel like this is, I'm not saying it's not real, but I don't feel like it's real because, I don't know, they make it seem so normal.
Yeah, and they really kind of go over the top, don't they? 3 to 4 times or 2 to 3 times a day. Man,
Yeah. Yeah.
how can they even make time for all that?
Yeah. Like, don't, like, you're 13. Like, what?
You don't play the Xbox at all?
Because, yeah, I would lose. Uh, Never mind. I can't even justify that. Like, there's no logical justification. I'm just like,
Like even if I had sex with a woman who had just had a baby and her tits were leaking, I would be a little squeamish about that. I don't know why. I don't know if that's abnormal, but I wouldn't even,
okay, no,
you
I'm
know.
gonna tell you a quick story. So I am a female, and I am capable of having babies. I know what the breast can do and whatever. But when I was really young, one of my friends, she got pregnant. She was also like, she was young, but I was like, anyway, she was the pregnant one. I was not. She had the baby, and we were like drinking, but she had to like, pump her breasts.
Yeah.
And like, she had so much milk, like she pumped them, but she could also like, she literally could squirt it, and shit. Seen her do it. Oh shit.
Oh
I've
yeah.
seen her squirt it into a bowl. One sec.
Could she have weaponized it?
Where is this thing fucking hooked up to? I pulled something out. One sec. There we go. All right. Sorry, my headphones, like, there's two jacks on it. And, like, the one near my ear fell out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now I can hear you. Sweet. So, yeah, she actually, like, I was like, okay, so, like, could you squirt that, like, across the table or something? Like,
Well, you wanted to taste it.
no, I didn't want to taste it. I just wanted to see like what kind of range that shit got. Like I went full dude on it. I was like, okay, that's gross, but
You wanted to see her weaponize
I
it.
want to see how far you can get with that.
Well, it comes out of a very small opening, so yeah, it probably has a lot of range.
Man, you could like honestly, just depends. Like you just gotta squeeze your titty right, apparently.
And it seems to have this effect where like the nipple is elongated permanently.
Yo, that's like from the baby like sucking. Anyway, from this is what I heard. Like anyway, like it gets swollen and it just kind of stays that way.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe that's kind of a built-in thing, built-in reaction. I don't know. I remember Louis
Well,
a bit about that.
I guess it's like we have to research cow udders to kind of get close to what nipples go through.
Yeah, yeah, those are some long-ass nipples.
I mean, they're long, but like it's like not quite the same thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's okay, similar, not quite the same thing, but some people do have very crazy nipples. So there's that too.
Well, it's odd because my ex had 2 kids and hers are inverted, so I don't know how that works. But
That is weird. I
hmm.
don't understand how that works.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know everything about it, so maybe
Me
that.
neither.
But
I mean, I should. I feel
hmm,
like I should.
oh well, no big deal. It doesn't mean you're incomplete as a woman because you haven't had kids, right? So
Eh. I mean, I think that just comes with like how you feel as a person.
Well, I mean, maybe if you disagree if you had the kids, but it seems to me like
No, I
you.
mean, like kids are not like you could still feel
Yeah,
like you're more masculine or feminine and blah blah
yeah.
blah. You can get real fucking technical on it, but like I'm still gonna call myself a female. I'm
Oh
just gonna
yeah,
call myself a really shitty female.
yeah. Well, not shitty. I think you're living your best life without having children. I feel like for you personally, you
My
specifically.
cat is the best child I've ever had, and I don't want her to die. And that's the saddest thing in my life is that I'm probably gonna see that happen, and I don't want to.
Well, how old is she?
She's like probably about 7, 8. Like, I,
Oh, okay, there's a
I'm like lower scale on that. She's probably about 8 or 9. Like, but she's like got a lot of life in her. She's like young.
yeah,
She's a
so
good
she'll be around
girl.
for a while. Yeah,
I think so.
yeah,
But like it just like it was like that's the worst thing about having pets. It's like kids sometimes if you have enough kids, like at least one of them might outgrow you.
yeah.
But some of them will be dependent on you.
The parrots live a long time. They can live like 60 years, I think.
True.
Yeah. So,
True.
but then you don't want it to starve to death after you die. So whatever.
Fuck no. I don't want to be in a fucking home either. Like
And you don't want them imitating you when you're dying, when other people come in, when they break down the door. I'm dying. I'm dying. Call 911.
That's terrible. But awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I think it's your turn.
No, this is your turn. You're up
No,
now.
I thought I did the.
I did the
Oh
breast
wait, yeah,
one.
you did the breastfeeding one. Right. It is my turn. Okay, 1 second.
Yeah.
This one's short and sweet. So, trampled. I want to be trampled with bare feet by little kids on my stomach.
Mm-mm.
That was the best. Uh-oh.
Well, I was
I
thinking that.
don't know, like you like the kids like you just I guess probably shouldn't start with the kids part these days.
Well, maybe he could lie and say he's like got a sore back or something, and
Yeah.
say, could you just walk on me a little bit, you know?
Yeah, right. That's innocent, but like I don't know about like the specifics here.
Yeah.
The specifics are a little bit shaky. It's
Let's hear about those
like
specific.
with bare feet by little kids. Little kids, like how old are we talking about? And how many? I'm
Damn.
just like, I don't know.
Well, okay, I get, let's say for sake of argument, it's like 20 kids, and they're like 7 years old.
Okay, so like 20 of them, like I guess they would have to kind of rotate out because like he'd have to be like 7 feet for like 10 of them to like fit on his stomach.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Does he want them all on there at the same time, or do they kind of walk around in a circle and take a turn, or what's he?
Yeah, I don't know what the like
There's
you
only so
could
much room on his stomach, so
yeah, and like I mean you could kind of take some liberties, but you want to go up rather than down, if you know what I mean.
I'm wondering if he's naked or clothed. A
Well,
type.
I would assume he's probably bare chested because I
Yeah.
mean the slapping of the feet is probably pretty satisfying in a weird way. maybe for those feet people, which also goes into how we need to have a foot show.
Well, one of the theories behind
I'm
the
joking
foot.
about the foot
Oh,
show, but also not joking because I think we actually might be able to make some money off of it.
oh yeah, yeah. The OnlyFans, the foot thing. Yeah.
Yeah, just the Papo feets. And you can like we need to do everyone's up like, like manicures. So and like do them like all nice and stuff and like people won't know who they're like masturbating to if they're into that. I
Yeah,
think it'd be great.
that's one kind of porn you can put like on a mainstream website and not get in trouble because
Yeah,
as
foot
long as you're not
porn.
naked, they're just
Yeah. And all you gotta do is like get like weird stuff to like put like you gotta get like a shoe every now and then and step in something and like massage some oil on your feet and like that's it. Like you don't really have to do anything like
yeah.
there's some weird things, yes, but like it's not like you're like masturbating. So
No. Well,
you're winning,
some guys, some guys just get off looking at the shoes that a woman's wearing.
Yeah, they want to see you like stomp on like the floor or just like if you got some sort of like jelly thing, they're like, ooh, step in that and mush it and like, or like, just put some oil on your feet, massage your foot, massage your own foot. How's that not like that's cool?
Well, you could make money
Like,
just by walking all over a guy wearing those big boots you have. I don't know if they're PVC or leather, but they have buckles on them. The ones I'm talking about. They go up to close to your knees.
yeah,
Yeah, you could just do that, and both you and the male, the victim, could be attired, so you wouldn't have to have nudity in it, but you could make money from that.
totally.
Yeah, calling him
Totally.
a bitch and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the degradation is like it's a real thing.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a real money maker. And
Yeah.
not that I know, I just know that um let's say had I taken all the possibilities I have in my life, I probably could be a dominatrix instead of what I do right now.
Well, you'd be making more money, I think, because
Probably.
some of them charge like $300 to $400 an hour.
Man, and like what
There's
people
there's
are
one who
into.
there's one who got a lot of exposure up here because there was like a movement to make sex work legal, and she's a dominatrix, and she's not an especially good-looking woman, but she's made a lot of money from it because I guess maybe to the men, looks were not the most important thing. Maybe it was all about the masochism, the actual acts involved. So
Yeah. Oh God, no. Sorry, one of my friends just sent me the most creepiest looking doll. That's like it's on Halifax buy and sell trade. Like Miss Agatha looking for her forever home. Oh my God. It's terrible looking. I will just like send you the screenshot, but like
well, anything creepy is up my alley.
yeah, you'll appreciate this.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to go off topic there, but like I like oh my God, I found I was just blown up on my messenger.
Well, do you remember these dolls that came out in the 80s? There's a cassette player in it, and it was called Cricket. And I think Teddy Ruxpin might have been the same, but you put a tape in, and the mouth moves while it plays. Do you remember those?
Yep. Yes.
And so eventually, you'd get like an Andrew Dice Clay album, and you put it in there.
Oh my God. That is the best thing ever.
Yeah,
Actually, I think we did that like, oh shit. Damn it.
yeah.
I meant to send it to you and I sent it back to her. Oh
Well,
my fucking God. Anyway, yeah, no, I've done the Teddy Ruxpin thing. Like, that was the most trippy thing. Like, watching it, like, speak words, like, that you're just like, oh my God, this is not what it's supposed to be saying. Like,
right.
yeah.
So, with my last one, this is actually in keeping with the same theme I went with before. This one's called "I Still Breastfeed My Kids." So
Oh.
the last one was the recipient. This one's the administrator, the dealer, if you will. I don't know if they're connected to the other person or not. Just gonna take a quick look at that creepy doll you sent me.
Yes.
Holy shit, that's like
I
something.
know, it's so crazy, right? Like,
It's like something in a horror movie where like it only comes to life when the victim is alone with it, but whenever it
yeah.
walks in the room,
And
it's
it like
yeah,
speaks to it like
yeah, it's
it's
like
like
Chucky.
night terror shit too. Like like well like that person's sleeping and it like wakes up to it looking at it while it's like sleeping and shit. Like oh my God. Like and it's for sale here in Halifax.
It reminds me of the paintings of this artist. He's one of my favorite painters. I can't pronounce his name. It's a Polish name, but I'll send you a link. But he paints a lot of figures that look like that. But anyway, so my last one is called "I Still Breastfeed My Kids," and it goes, I think it's okay to breastfeed past the so-called breastfeeding age. I also believe in breastfeeding on request. That means if my kids want milk, they can walk up to me and ask politely for some num-nums. I take
No. No.
I take my shirt off and they can have at it. It's no different than going to the fridge and pulling out a carton. Really, it's really
No.
identical to that. Why should I deprive them of what they need? It's a snack. It's natural. It's not like I'm putting it on display in front of my neighbors. Well,
How
at
old
least
is it?
you are
Wait.
sparing them that, so I'll give, at least there's
How
at
old
least
are the kids?
yeah, that's coming up right now. That's
Oh,
she says my two oldest boys and girls, both age 9, are still breastfeeding. Sometimes it's even at the same time. So a kid on one side, a kid on the other. The third youngest boy, age 5, likes to say he's over it from time to time, but he always comes back to the nipple. My friends and I feed each other's kids sometimes. The kids are friends with each other too. It's really no hoopla. It's nourishment, not perverted or fantasy. You can't believe the people who get worked into a fuss over it. It's healthy for kids to drink breast milk, not cow's milk. My kids will self wean when they're ready to. Who knows when that'll be? I'll just have to wait. If I'm in the middle of doing something and they can't get to my breast, I'll just let them have my pump and bottled breast milk in the fridge. So all you guys and gals about to write something nasty, tits are meant for breastfeeding. What else am I going to do with them? Give it up already? My kids got to suck on my tits to live. It's just what I do for them. I still breastfeed my kids. Wow. Well, I want to know where these people live. If she and a friend are both doing
I
this,
know.
is it Appalachia or some fucking place like that?
Abolition. Maybe
Wow.
it's like out where fucking the like goalers live out where I'm at.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what else is she supposed to do with her tits? Well, they can be sucked on, but they can be sucked on by her husband or boyfriend or whatever. That's still fun. Uh,
Yeah, but the kids, like, man, like, honestly, I get weirded out when it's like 2 years old and they're doing that.
yeah, that is kind of old, isn't it? Yeah.
You know, like that's when it weirds me out. Like two, like, and oh, have you watched Game of Thrones?
I never have.
Oh man. Okay, now you need to. Now you need to.
Was there breastfeeding in it?
There is
Yeah.
actually.
Like a
Yep.
child, or is it?
It is an older child.
Oh, so a child who's old enough to remember.
I'm telling you, probably everything we've talked about on this show has been talked about or done or whatever on Game of Thrones. I'm guaranteeing you that
Parenting,
there's
parenting is not what it used to be. Like I sometimes I'll see a kid in
there's
a stroller. You ever see a kid in a stroller and they look like they're like 2 or 3 years older than they should be in that stroller?
okay. So not only that, but have you heard about what Alicia Silverstone does with her kids?
No.
She baby bird feeds them.
Food from her fucking mouth.
Like, yeah, chews it up. Baby bird feeds it.
Wow.
Like, she did that.
That's
No. Like,
she shouldn't have discussed it publicly. Maybe that's what happened to her career.
and there's so much, like, of the weird Hollywood moms, like, shit that they do. Like, Hollywood mom white people are the worst white people.
Well, yeah, and like
I'm gonna go on record because I'm not one of those people, but Hollywood mom people are the worst, like, in terms of being moms. Like, I mean, they kind of are, but then they name their fucking kids weird ass names.
like Apple.
Yes, dude,
What
that's the
culture?
first one that I always pull up. Apple. I'm like, you piece of shit. Why did you call your fucking kid a fruit? Like, that's an asshole fucking move.
Yeah, and
And
like
then there's Elon Musk and Grimes' kid, XY whatever, QR9, where the fuck the kid's called.
what is that, a math equation?
It's like it's a bunch of X's in there, and I
It's
like
odd.
no one can pronounce it.
Well, Anton named one of his kids Satan. Satan Xerxes LeVay, I think, or something.
That's cool. I can roll with it. You know, that's a little bit, that's actually something you can say, and it's not like a fruit.
Well, it's better than Judas, I guess. People just assume you're a backstabber.
Mm, yeah, there's all kinds of like bad ones.
Well, you see, the problem with giving kids weird names is that what if they don't turn out to be weird? Like, what if Apple ends up being a lawyer, like a corporate lawyer, and their fucking name is Apple? That's going to be problematic, I think.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I kind of feel like you're stuck in your line of work with your name too.
Yeah,
Like, what about like fucking blanket?
blanket. Yeah, that's a problem. That name is problematic for sure. But
Blanket.
he'll just have to live off his father's largesse, I guess. He won't have to apply for any straight jobs, and he won't have to worry
Well,
about it.
fuck, like Paris Jackson looks great. Like she's
Yeah.
not bad looking at all. Like wonder I don't know how the rest of them are gonna turn out, but like man, I feel bad, but like I just started feeling sad about missing Michael Jackson. Like
Oh, it was one of the greatest Norm Macdonald jokes of all time, and this is brutal. The whole fucking it was on Conan late night with Conan O'Brien, and the whole audience and Conan O'Brien just stopped. They were so shocked. McDonald goes, this is around the time when they announced that Michael Jackson was about to have his first kid, but nobody knew what
right,
name and gender was going to be. So
right.
Norm Macdonald goes, they're saying if it's a girl, he's going to name it Sharon, and if it's a boy, he's going to have sex with it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Conan O'Brien had no idea what to do from there. He was just but that was a great thing about Norm Macdonald, right? So
Man, he like he did one of the like most sort of easygoing, but also like not easygoing roasts for this
yeah.
dude. And he just passed away too. I can't remember who it was. But Yeah, it was just like he was like kind of like slowly like softballing it in, like, and they were like they're good ones, but like they were corny dad jokes at the same time. I fucking loved Norm Macdonald. He's another one I miss like so bad.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Fuck. Who did he roast?
Well,
And it was like this dude, he just passed away too, like not that long ago.
some of his best moments actually were on the David Letterman show. There are these montages of clips on YouTube, and he was always funny on that show. Those are really good.
Yeah.
So all right, what's your last confession?
What is my last confession? One second. Need to find my screenshots because I have the creepy baby on it.
Oh, you know that.
Those those were my last fucking
Oh,
screenshots right there. It's like the creepy baby I had to show you. I was like, oh my god, it's so creepy. Like,
there's a slogan here in Ontario for like the gambling industry, like know your limit, play within it. I'm gonna adapt that to breastfeeding for this episode. Breastfeeding, know your limit, stay within it. You know, the age-related limit.
yeah. Oh my god. Okay, so like I screenshotted something that's kind of like lame, but we'll go for it just because.
Mhm.
Golf. I mean, I do like golf, and that's like partly why I like screenshot it. I used to shank the ball a lot. Not anymore. Haha. I got myself a tailor-made R7 CGB max set of clubs from my dad that are almost 20 years old. LOL. No, my dad is not dead. So, um, I don't know what any of that means.
Me neither.
But I think that either this kid stole it from his dad or he's an entitled little piece of shit. I
Yeah, maybe.
don't mean to be so blatant, but I mean, if you're like bragging about like, this like PX2R9 fucking set of golf clubs that like no other fucking person on this god-given planet like really gives a shit about except golf players, then you're probably a white bread little, I don't know, like trust fund baby.
Yeah, wearing the cardigan over the polo shirt, like tied with
Yes.
the sleeves tied in case it gets chilly later.
You gotta have the pop collar, like
Yeah, the pink, or yeah, that was the pink popped collar from like nights 2004. I think that was fashionable back then.
the
With the
pop
bed
collar
head,
stuff was always like it was
pop
big
collar
for
with
a
bed head.
while.
Yeah, pop collar with bed head, done on purpose.
Yeah, the spiked up hair and shit, and yeah, yeah. No, like I have no idea what shank the ball means either, but like at first I thought it might have been like a sexual term, like it was like,
Spank the
oh, like, and then it was just totally golf things, and I
ball.
like,
Well, it could be a gay term, a gay sexual term.
hair,
Spike the ball.
maybe,
Like
maybe,
I think there are gay guys who are masochists who like to have their scrotums poked at with things, metal objects.
yeah. So there's the whole anal dealy, and there's like a thing down your pee hole. And I've been told, I know there's a term for it, but like it's basically like getting like a male exam like
Yeah.
shoving the Q-tip down there, but like it's worse because like you can get like a rod put down there, like it can
Okay.
go further.
Like a penile
Anyway,
implant, or
no, it's just like it's like insertion
well,
into.
this is probably the most redundant question I've ever asked you, but have you seen Two Kids in a Sandbox?
No.
It's a This some person took like this dildo. It's like the smallest dildo you could ever buy, and they just rammed it into this guy's piss hole. And I'm just sitting there wincing watching this thing. But I think the guy was getting off on it, but I wasn't.
Yeah, yeah, it's called sounding. There's a term for that.
Oh, okay. Well, that
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that you know that. You know that.
I know because of just being on this fucking planet and
Yeah.
being who I am and how I look.
Sounding. I wonder if the name for it came from a guy fucking screaming. I wonder if that's where that the
I don't
name
know. Like
sounding. Yeah, the sound's gonna be heard all right.
lots of sounds,
Yeah.
like a lot of squealing, a lot of like like I mean I don't enjoy doing the things that I have to do for getting checked out down there.
Yeah.
Now, y'all have a longer wiener and you gotta like if you're just voluntary shoving something like in there. No, it's
Well,
not supposed to have that happen, but that's like
well, yeah. These doctors were saying a big part of working the trauma unit, the emerge of a hospital, is constantly treating people who are coming in with objects stuck up their ass, stuck up their pee hole, whatever.
yeah, you don't accidentally put something in your
Yeah.
butt.
That's not accident. No.
No, it doesn't accidentally get up there. It just no. That's not. Oh, I like fell in the shower. What were you doing with
Yeah.
fucking
All right.
Hot Wheels in the shower? What
Well, in keeping
were
with
you doing with a Godzilla fucking action figure in the shower?
our conversation earlier about the guys wearing makeup and lingerie, would you ever do like the gender switch just as a lark, like just to be to dominate the guy and wear the strap on and all that?
Yeah. Well, like,
Well, I mean, as
would
just
you?
as like not all the time. I mean, like, would you do that if a guy wanted it? Like,
What,
just
pegging?
yeah,
Oh, fuck yeah. But I mean, like, I'm not used to pounding people like that, like muscle memory there. Like,
yeah. That's
I've done it like once before, and I was like, oh,
it's a
I've
workout.
like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's totally different because like as a female, you're doing a different kind of thrust all the time. Like if you're like active in it, if you're not like being a fucking starfish, then like
Yeah.
you're actively doing something back, but it's not the same motion. Man, I actually appreciated that shit. The one time I put a strap on, it wasn't the best strap on. It actually was a really fucking crappy one. But I definitely earned a new respect because I was like, oh, this is like I've never done this motion a whole lot in my lifetime. Like
You suddenly knew what it was like to
I've done an
collapse.
opposite motion in my lifetime a lot, like just not this
Yeah.
one.
So you found out what it's like to collapse after sex, like to be so exhausted that
Well, I mean, it wasn't quite like that. Like, I mean, I got energy at the yin yang. I like honestly, I like especially as I get older, it's just like weird. I'm like the other night I like came to this weird ass conclusion. Like it was like, okay, like in like all of my lifetime I totally masturbated to go to sleep, but like last night I masturbated and it was awake. And I was like, this is not cool.
That did have a good effect, eh?
I
Hmm.
was like, I could do with more of this, just not whatever I'm doing. It's like it's good, but like I want something else. Like I just can't. And like it woke me up and I hated it. I hated it. I hated it for that.
Mm.
It's bullshit. I
My
was
days,
like, I
my
like
days.
the one thing, one of the things that you can fall back on is like, oh, I'll just like have an orgasm and go to sleep.
Oh yeah,
No,
but maybe you sure you weren't just off for that one time, you know?
I don't know. It has been a while since I've touched myself.
I used to bookend my days with that, but no longer. So, morning wood. That forest has been denuded. I'll put it that way. It
What? The
it's been
nude?
it's been it's made clear cut. When they clear cut a forest, I'll put it that way. Morning wood in my life has been clear cut. It's a
Oh, I like your play on
yeah,
words. It's
yeah.
good. It's good. I
It
like
happens
that.
after a guy gets to this age. It's you're not.
Man, I've had some weird ass people with morning wood. Like, they're just like, or even just anytime wood. They're just like,
Oh yeah.
hey, I'm like, whoa, dude, like, you need to calm down. Like, how old are you? Oh, you're my age. What the fuck is your problem? Like, you're supposed to be weird, like, right now. Like, you're supposed to be way more unpredictable than this. Like, you're like still a teenager. What is your. Wow. Some people it's weird. And then other people it's like, nope, like wrote off. Like, even like you have like a few drinks, wrote off.
Yeah.
Like
True. Well, I mean,
they say there's like whiskey dick, right?
yeah.
Whiskey dick and coke dick. Those are two things.
Well, I have weed dick. That's what I have.
Oh.
For me, it's an aphrodisiac. Some people it isn't, but it is for me.
What, weed?
Yeah,
Yeah, I like weed. Weed's good.
because it relaxes you that well. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, does wine get you in the mood?
Wine?
Yeah, a lot of women say wine gets them in the mood.
Oh man, okay, so I had a friend that was like wine equals like butt sex. Like that's what like wine was like butt sex. Like and I'm like, "Oh wow, like that's a okay." Uh,
Wow,
yeah,
it's
like right
powerful.
to that. Like
They might as well. I guess they might as well make wine bottles shaped like a dick. Then she can drink it directly from it.
yeah, like wine was like if she's drinking wine, like he knows like his like the husband knows he's getting butt sex because butt
Yeah.
sex is like wine equals butt sex.
Yeah, they
And
should
I'm
make.
like, I don't understand how like any sort of alcohol equals this. Like it's just like to me, it's like it is whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like you
You know,
know.
I'm not so sure it's a good idea to use glass dildos because I know it's really thick glass. It's not hollow, but glass can still break, and if it breaks up there, it can be a fucking nightmare. You know what I mean?
Pyrex is okay, but I still wouldn't like totally trust it,
Oh
you
no, it
know.
it could break.
Pyrex is a lot stronger though. Like if you get like a Pyrex, like there was one, oh I miss it so much. It was like the best one I had. Like it had like sort of like a spiral on one side and like dots on the other. And it was like it was a double ender, but it was like a small one, right? It was just like you just flip it like depending on what you wanted to feel. And it was dope as fuck. And like they were like, oh yeah, you could just like stick it in your fucking dishwasher, blah blah blah. Like it was like the easiest thing to clean. And I don't have it anymore. I wish I did. Oh man.
Maybe it wouldn't be safe, but how about creating one that has like strobe lights built into it?
You could. I mean, there's that like there's There's actually a chick in Las Vegas that has a butt plug that's like a light show.
That would be awesome. I'd watch it. I would just sit there and watch it.
Yeah,
It's
like
like,
I'll send you all, like I know there's a link. I'll find it once I'm off ban. I will send it to you.
oh, you're still in Facebook jail.
I went like I was in and out of jail.
Uh,
I
well, yeah,
complained.
I posted, I wrote this post, the one about my favorite albums, and I realized this album by NWA, which has the N word in it. I thought I better censor that now because otherwise I'll end up in Facebook jail because they don't care if it's part of an album name or if it's a joke. They just set up algorithms and they just pick it out, and so
Right,
they can't appreciate that nuance is a thing. So
right.
yeah, and humor is a very nuanced thing, and so I once got put in Facebook jail because I posted a picture of Adolf Hitler with this kid on his lap, like he was just smiling and just, showing a different side of Hitler, and but you're not allowed to show any side of Hitler on that website. So,
Yeah.
because sometimes I like to look at pictures of him and just kind of trip on the fact that he actually existed. It's just weird.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's like trippy.
Yeah, that's someone could be that evil and psychotic. I just
For
check.
sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, same. I guess it's like the kind of thing I do with a lot of figures from true crime. It's just like, wow, he actually existed, or he actually did that.
I know that like those things like fucking baffle the shit out of me. It's like, yo, I can't believe like they even like did that. Like they did that. Like they like went and did that to like some human, or like they got away with this for so long, and it's like what? Like sometimes it's like so like mind blowing.
Yeah. In some cases, they don't think it's a big deal. Like Bernardo refers to his crimes as mistakes. Yeah, he said in this meeting he had with some cops, he said, okay, I made some mistakes a few years ago. And I'm thinking, mistakes? A mistake is something you do when you didn't realize you were doing something wrong, either due to
Yeah, like
experience
fucking
or not.
kill somebody
Yeah.
mistakenly, like
All the rapes and murders were planned. That was deliberate, and he knew it was against the law. So
yeah,
it's not a mistake. But yeah, he totally downplayed it, so he doesn't feel bad at all.
totally. Like that's some bullshit. It's like, yo, like that's a lot of stuff that you fucked with. Like not only just like that person's life, but like anybody that like was their family.
Oh yeah.
Like yeah.
Well, on that note, on that cheerful note, thank you very much for joining me this week again, and thanks to everybody for
Yeah.
listening. Thanks to everybody for listening, and for those of you who do listen, please, we would love to hear your confessions if you'd like to do that. We don't have to read your name out. Absolutely not. I mean, we never do that anyway.
And
Uh,
if you want to address us, like, you can totally address us, like, personally. Like, if you're listening, whatever, like, use our names. Don't use our names. Whatever. Just, like, if you got questions, we can answer them as best as we can,
yeah,
too.
you can send them to rectormedia@gmail.com. That's RECTOR media. That's where you send them to.
Yes.
All
All
right.
right.
You have yourself a very lovely evening, and maybe tonight you'll have a better time getting to sleep.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It was, like, so fucking stupid last night. Anyway. Like my cat like literally almost walked on my head. Like she's like walking all over my hair, pulling it, and I'm like, dude, like I was just like falling asleep. Anyway, you know how animals can be.
Oh, yes. All right.
Alright.
You take care of yourself.
All right, you too.
All right, take care.
All
Bye-bye.
right.